pointed edges, now it has rounded edges. What else might, what else might make rocks turn into soil? Okay, the wind, look at this, it's made a hole in the rock, the wind's blowing in there, taking little pieces of rock, turn it into soil. Any other ideas what could make rock turn into, what could make rock turn into soil? Water, wind. Oh, my, we need to collect our bags, Charlie, if anybody has a little bucket, please bring that around. We're gonna collect your bags, but while.
They don't want to eat it.
Anybody see what's up there now?
Oh, she let me keep it. After she melts it soil.
Then she wants this young one to toss the bags in here, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Want to keep it already around.
Okay, so another thing with girls, temperature and climate, if it's cold, snow, can crack the rocks, you get ice in them. What's making the rock break apart into soil in this picture? Wow, it looks good.
No, it's just tree.
Wow. The roots are so strong they can actually crack the rock apart. And what's making the rock crack apart in this? It's hard to see a little bit, but look at that mountain. Yeah.
The water eventually rubbed against it, carried it, and it went all the way down.
Absolutely, that's water, that river is making all of that rock chip away and turn into soil. And look at those, all chipped away. That's called weathering, and that's really how we get from our rock and how it turns into soil. But it takes a really, really long time. If you were a rock and you were being weathered, in 500 years, it would take 500 years to get just this much soil made out of rocks. 500 years, and some people say maybe even 1,000 years. So it takes a really, really, really long time to make soil. So we can't just make new soil. It takes a ton of time, so it takes a really long time. And you might wonder how deep soil goes. Well, this man is standing in a pit, and that's just about as far down into the earth as we can go before we get to rock. That's just about how deep soil goes. It's not very deep, is it? Now, it's different in different places. It depends what kind of rock was there in the first place. It depends on what animals grew there, what the weather was like, what happened, how the weathering went. But that's about how deep it goes. And one of the things that happens then when soil is made is it's made in layers, and it's called soil horizons. Has anybody ever heard that word horizon before? I'll give you a hint. The horizon is the line where the earth meets the sky. So right at the very bottom of this picture, there's the earth meeting the sky, and it makes like a layer. And that's what horizons are, they're layers. And so every soil is different, and so the layers are different in different soils. These are, when they're different layers, they are called profiles, just like us. If you have a profile, your profile and my profile might be a little different. You might have different hair, you might have different, we're all people, but things in ours are different. Look at all those different soil profiles. They all have varieties, they all have layers, but they're very, very different depending on where they come from in the world. And so those layers have names. We're going to talk about them real quick because at the very end we have an activity for you that'll finish up our session today, and it's going to teach you a little bit more about horizons. So down at the bottom, very, very bottom, is called bedrock. That's rock. It's 100% rock. You can't dig it, it's there. Next up is the weathered rock, the rocks like we've had today. The weather got to you a little bit, it started to crumble, started to break apart. After that, a little bit less chunky rock called the subsoil. That's where you start getting the animals. Some of the animals will go real deep, like those earthworms I was telling you about that are big and twisted, they're birds. That's the subsoil, that's where some animals live, and also a lot of the bacteria start to live there. Then, up above that is the topsoil. That's the good stuff. That's what we grow in. Our plants grow there. The topsoil is where their roots live. And then on the very top is the fun organic matter, like the stuff you made, like the stuff the worms like the stuff that falls in the forest, the leaves, the humus, that kind of thing. So it's all layered, but the layers are different depending on where you are. So there's the bottom layer, bedrock, 100% rock. Next is the parent material. Parent material just means the kind of rock in the place. Maybe it's volcanic rock, maybe it's sandstone, so we're near the ocean or near the water like we do. Parent material. Next is subsoil. Next is topsoil. And then at the very tippy top is our humus, like we showed you here. With the decaying tree and that nice organic matter. So to finish up today, well, we have something fun for you to take home. We're going to make, you're each going to make your own version of a soil profile. So here's how it's going to go. It's actually edible. So this will be something fun for you to take home, and you can have it at home. Maybe for dessert. Edible means you can eat it, yeah. So after you've gone home and washed your hands and got cleaned up, or maybe after dinner, after you've eaten a lovely dinner with lots of vegetables or plants grown in the dirt or the soil, you can have an edible soil horizon. So let me give you an example of what it's going to be. You're going to get a bag. Everybody listen up, this is the fun part, and then we're going to go. Everybody's going to get a bag, and into the bag you're going to get a cup. And in this cup, you're going to build your own soil horizon. It's going to look very much like a parfait, if you know what a parfait is. Do you know what a parfait is? Yeah? Okay, so in the bottom of your cup, the very bottom layer is your bedrock. So everybody's going to get an Oreo to put in the bottom of their cup. So that's the bedrock. That's the parent material. For the parent material, you're going to get chocolate chips and butterscotch chips. And they go next. They look like the rocks that are chunky. Next comes pudding. You get chocolate pudding, and that's your subsoil. After that, you get some chocolate graham crackers that you crush up, and you put them on, and that's the topsoil. And on the very top layer, you get some gummy worms and some green coconut to be the organic matter for the tippy top. And then when it's all made, then you can eat it. Okay, so you'll have your very own soil profile, and you'll remember all the different parts of the soil, and that'll be the end. So the way we're going to do this then is we have, you know what an assembly line is? And have everybody get in the line, and then we're going to go through the line, and we're going to pick up all the different parts that you need for your soil parfait. And after you're done with that, you take your own bag home, and that'll be your treat. So let me just wrap up by thanking you, because you were great participants. You have a question?
The chicken noodle soup grow from plants.
Chicken noodle soup grow plants? Huh. You have to go home and try that. Let me know next time you come back. You can give an experiment and see what happens. I would say not too well. That's my guess, but I'd have to try an experiment. So let me tell you two folks that are here with kiddos, if you're interested in our brochure, it's here. I don't have enough for, I might have enough for everybody. If anybody wants a do-it-yourself composting recipe to take home, you want to give it a try now that you love that nice smell. If you want to try that at home, you can take it along. And we would like to thank you very much for coming today. It's been great to work with you and your kids. So what we'll do for the girls is just make a nice line by Holly. She's going to be the starter. Is that okay, Holly, if they start behind you? And we'll go through and you'll pick up your ingredients for your parfait when you're ready.